The R sound in American English pronunciation can be one of the trickier, more difficult sounds when it comes to sounding natural in American English. And so today we're going to be looking at 5 different combinations with R that may be helpful for you in your own practice to sound more natural the next time you need to speak in American English. Good morning, guys. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to your daily American English pronunciation show, which is Wake Up America, and we are here typically between the hours of 7 to 8 a.m. New York to make sure that you can get in your 5 to 10 minutes of pronunciation practice for the day because that's what it takes. If you're serious about pronunciation and change, and to guide you in this process, there's me. Hello, my name is Jeff. Arounds of breath is one of the 4 keys to natural sound in American English, including placement, pitch, breath, trying to weaken your consonant sounds in order to strengthen your vowel sounds. We're going to be looking at R sounds, like I mentioned. If you want to go even in more detail with the R sounds, I also encourage you to check out Elsa, who helps make these streams possible. Elsa has a free pronunciation test you can take, as well as like free premium exercises and access for a couple of days, which is enough time to, hey, if you record yourself, if you practice, it's enough time to make some significant change. So hope you guys are able to take advantage of that as well. If you're interested in that free access to Elsa, you can take a look at the video description and also in the comments. Let's take a look at what our R sounds for today are actually going to be. Hello to Dan hanging out with us. Great to see you, sir. And hello also to Emmanuel. Thanks for checking in as always. So these are our words here. For those of you in our Telegram group, this will look familiar. Okay. So before we even get to these words, let's just try to talk about some basics for this sound. Because that's how all these words are going to kind of be finishing for this sound. I'm not overly concerned about what you do with the tip of your tongue. So that front of your tongue, that tip right there, that can either go against, your top front tooth, against your ridge, it's like ruh, ruh, or it can go against the bottom of your mouth, so like down here, it's like ruh, ruh. Anything can really work. There's a lot of flexibility with R sounds. The key thing, though, is that the very back of your tongue is going to be a little bit high. Don't make it too high and don't tense your jaw because that's going to close off a lot of breath and sound. We don't want to end up with like that's a little bit too closed. Okay, it's more of a almost like a growl type sound. Okay, which means that the back of your tongue is high, but this still needs to be low enough for air to pass through our throat into our chest area. Okay, and things like that. It's like not So all these words are going to kind of end with that sound. So if you have trouble just making that sound, it may be good just to kind of start with that. Some tips I can give as well if you're finding that difficult. To lower the back of your tongue, you can make an ah sound, so like ah, ah. To raise the back of your tongue, you can make a G sound, it's like g, 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 g. And R sound is going to be a little bit not as high as that G in general. Okay. All right, so the way we're going to do these words is we're going to do just the central vowel, and then we'll add the initial consonant sound. Okay, so for this first group of words with B's, so let's do that first word. So it's going to be like R, bar, R, bar. Our next one, bird, bird. Our next one, ear, beer, ear, beer. And our last one, or, bore, or, bore. Okay, so let's do all of those words again. Okay, so R, bar, R, bar, bird, bird, ear, beer, air, bear, air, bear. And our last one, or, bore, or, bore. Okay. As you're practicing these, what's up also to forgot checking. Good to see you, sir. You're doing well. As you're doing these as an experiment, I would also encourage you to say these with maybe minimal mouth position movements because it's not really necessary to have your lips do a ton of work here. So again, watch my lips as I go through that. R, bar, bird, bird, ear, beer, air, bear, or, bore. See how not a lot of lip movement is necessary for these. Okay. So that can be another thing to kind of be practicing as you go through this. Let's take a look at our next group. Okay. Again, vowel then initial consonant. So R, car, R, car, curse, curse, ear, career, care, care, core, core. Just want to highlight that or sound because I'm working with a couple of students. Especially for those of us speaking Slavic languages, that or sound really want to make sure you get enough breath coming through. It's like oh, oh. It's not oh. Where things really tense up and the lips kind of round and things like that. Not necessary. Straighter lips. Or. I would kind of like try to bounce between those a little bit. It's not oh, because you can hear how the sound closes off a lot and things get a lot tenser. I'm gonna run through that group one more time. So again, R, car, curse, curse, ear, career, care, care, or, core. All right, our last group with F sounds. Okay, same idea. So vowels and words. So R, far, fur, fur, ear, fear, fair, fair, or, for. As you're doing these, you may find that maybe you can get the R sound okay. So like maybe you can do that sound, but maybe when you're adding some vowel sounds before it, things change. We want to be mindful of things like placement. So for instance, an E sound, can you make an E? Because if you're doing a sound that maybe is more natural in your first language, it may have a higher placement with less breath coming through. So it may sound a little bit more like E or things like that. But American English will go for a little bit more of a disengaged muscle group for that E sound, which is going to relax the sound more. So it's not E, which is pretty tense, versus like E. Okay. So we want to make sure at that low placement, a lot of breath is coming through and transitions into the R sound. Because if I say like ear, you can hear how everything's tight, including that R sound. Versus if I'm keeping my placement down with lots of breath on the E, it's like ear. You can hear a difference in sound. Ear versus ear. Okay. Let's do that last group again. So R, far, fur, fur, ear, fear, air, fair, or, for. We had a couple quick questions that came through, and also Levi is here. Great to see you, man. We'll be touching on some French stuff hopefully this week. Mahmoud has a question. Thanks for hanging out with us. How to pronounce 30 like an American? I'll do my best impression. And also gave the word dirty as well. Okay, so this goes back to that sound. So it's like that second word in each of these groups. So like bird, curse, fur. Same idea here with 30 has that same sound. Okay, so it's that sound that we get for these second words. It's like bird, curse, fur, and then your word here, 30. The other thing for 30, when you have an R and a T and a Y, or combinations like that, that T takes on what's called a fast D or flap T sound, which we've talked about in the past. So basically, you just need to raise and lower the back of your tongue just slightly. It's like 30. If you find that hard, just try to transition from an sound to an E. It's like uri, and then add a D sound very light and quickly between them and bounce. It's like uri, 30, uri, 30, uri, 30. Always focus on vowel sounds. Same idea with dirty. So just do an sound and an E sound, and then try to add in the rest of the sounds and try to keep it smooth. It's like uri, dirty, dirty. The other thing you want to watch out for is these are 2-syllable words. Go down in pitch on the second word, the second syllable, because the second syllable is not stressed. Like dirty, 30, dirty. Going low and weak on those second syllables. The final thing, asking about the word mountain. Mountain, this uses a held T when you have a T before an N. Okay, so it's going to sound like mount, and then just end with an N sound, just like an And don't use an N sound from your first language. Use an American English N sound, which sounds a little bit more like It's a lower placement. A lot of languages are doing like with really high placement. We want to use the lower placement. It's like mountain, mountain, mountain. What you saying? I think it'd be great to master every American sound individually. That's one of the reasons. I'll be honest. One of the reasons why we're partnering with Elsa on these streams because I have issues with Elsa for like sentence level stuff. I don't think. I think it struggles. This is one of the reasons why I can't get a perfect score on Elsa. As a native speaker, I can't. It's hard to get a perfect score because it struggles a bit with like reductions and things like that. But for individual sounds, if you're like, hey, I want to study like lock versus luck, or things like that, or maybe these R sounds, I think it's good for the individual sounds. So for people looking to practice that for free, just things you can pay. Like we have a Telegram group, you can pay for that. But if you're looking for like free practice for individual stuff, I think Elsa can help a lot. Mahmoud says thank you. Thanks to you. All right, I'm gonna head out, guys. But hey, thanks for hanging out with me today. There's a lot of pronunciation resources out there. I'm very much aware of that. So the fact that you are here is greatly appreciated. I will see you all later. Hope you guys have a good day, have a good night, and a good afternoon. Take care, guys.